It's another episode of the Shiesty Show. This is episode 4. I'm your host, Matt. We back at it again. Another week in the books. So let's get it. Yeah, so first thing first, man. I read there was a new Transformer movie coming out. We're going to have to check that out, see if it's any good. I know the first two were pretty good. Once it got Mark Wahlberg in there, I wasn't watching. So, next one, the Batman movie. Batman movie to me was pretty good, very long. I like how they made it more dark, I guess you could say, with Riddler being like a serial killer, murdering people. I did not like that Batman had eyeliner on. I didn't think that was very masculine of Batman to be wearing eyeliner, acting like an emo teenager. That wasn't really good to see. You know, that's my favorite superhero. I think they could have got somebody a little bit more to fit the role, because that wasn't it. But Spider-Man also, that came out this year. You know, definitely just recently saw it. I waited for a while. I recently saw it. Pretty good, man. Pretty good movie. How they brought it all back around. You know, from the bad guys to bringing all three Spider-Mans together. Thought that was pretty cool. You know, I'm not the biggest superhero person when it comes to those type of movies, but Batman's my favorite. But that was a good movie. Another movie I've been keeping a close eye on, call it corny if you want to, you know. But I watch Scream, you know. Yeah, I watch all three of them every time. Nah, I'm just playing out every time, but sometimes I watch them. You know, they're still good. Still good to go back and see those. And definitely the first two are the best. On the most serious note, to me, in a slasher movie, I still think the intro to Scream 1 with Drew Barrymore when she was real young. That's still considered one of the best scenes to me. Got to be a top scene in like horror movie history right there. But they're coming out with a Scream 6, and it will no longer have Cindy. Will it succeed without her? Should they end the franchise, or should they restart the franchise? Why not, man? Why not start it up again? I think it's time. I think it's time for her to move on. She's been in all of them, so why not, man? I think if you're gonna continue to do this role, you're gonna continue to do this movie. Why not? Why not start fresh, get some new faces in there, you know? So that's my movie category. We didn't really touch that much on movies here, or at least we haven't yet. So my little movie take for you guys right there. But to more sports like things, we got some boxing. You know, Tyson Fury, the big man, Tyson Fury, has he spooked the heavyweight division? He keeps handing out contracts and nobody wants to sign him. Man, I think he's really spooked. You know, I think Wilder's the only one that probably still take the fight. But a lot of these guys, dude, they say they want to fight. They talk in the media like they want to fight, but behind closed doors, they really don't want to fight. You know, that's just the politics of boxing. That's just how it goes now. But hey, man, from what I see, maybe Ruiz. I think Andy Ruiz. I think if he can get his mind right, be sharp like he was in the first Anthony Joshua fight, and really be dedicated to the sport, you know, I think he'd have a good shot at upsetting Tyson Fury. You know, Wilder, he's not the boxer Fury is, but he does have the right hand that will put you out. So he's still liable to be dangerous if he gets a couple wins under his belt. It feels like he wants to try to come back for his revenge. But as far as that goes, in the heavyweight division, Joshua doesn't want to sign a contract to fight him. Usyk hasn't said anything about fighting him. You know, and those are the top guys right there, other than Wilder. So it doesn't seem like anyone wants to take that on, and he's willing to fight for free. I've seen him interviews say pack out the stadium, make it free. and no nobody's answering the call. Um, so we'll see what happens there. We got Caleb Plant looking nice, coming off a victory, looking sharp. I think when I seen him fight Canelo, he he held his own for a little bit, man, before he started to get chipped away with those body shots and everything. I think he held his own for the most part. I don't think uh, he got outshined. He was doing good. Of course, at the end, it didn't turn out the way he wanted it to. But he did good. I give him his respect in that regard. Looked good coming off this previous victory. So he's saying he wants a couple more big wins under his belt, and he wants to rematch with Canelo. I think that's a good fight, man. I think he has a very awkward style, very unorthodox. He plays the range game. He's a lot taller than Canelo. Uh, but Canelo's always going to be strong inside. He got the combinations to the body. That's one thing about those Mexican fighters. Combinations to the body. Julio Cesar Chavez, that's one thing they're known for, man. De La Hoya. Um, it's something that's in the DNA for sure. But he's always strong inside. Physical. It's not going to be easy, but I think if Caleb Plant could get a couple more solid victories in the future, he'd give up a good rematch to Canelo for sure. Terrence Crawford fighting Errol Spence, just like I said before, don't believe it until you read it and it's signed on the dotted line, because these dudes be lying, you know. These dudes be lying, man. Boxing is a bunch of thieves and criminals. That's what it is. Nah, I'm just playing. I love boxing, but you know what? Terrence Crawford going to get $10 million to fight some guy we never heard of. It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. They're going back and forth. Spence stalled the fight. Crawford did this, stalled the fight. He didn't want the fight. It's just, this is the politics of boxing, man. He went to go take the less, and the thing is Terrence is my guy. I'm a Crawford fan. I was going for Crawford and the Spence if they were to get in the ring. Well, you know what, man? I can't support this. I keep it real all the way, man. I can't support this. He's to me he's taking the lesser challenge for a lot of money, which I get. I don't know who stalled on who, but from what I see, he told us that was going to be the fight next, the fight to be made. It was locked in the books practically, and then comes out and gives us this. It's another prime example, man. This is boxing. Right here is boxing at its worst. That's just, I guess this is how the game is going. But let's hope the next one coming up. Let's hope what we're hearing now is the Tank and Ryan Garcia fight happening in January. Now, let's hope that this is not talk, and they're not just getting people pumped up, and then they come out in a month or so and tell us it's somebody we never even heard of, some cab driver off the streets. We're tired of seeing that. You guys are some of the top guys in the division. It's time to stop avoiding each other. We're seeing it happen with Crawford Spence. Let's not have it happen with Tank and Ryan too, man, because this is what's killing boxing right here. Say what you want about Jake Paul, but that's what I mean in regards of the sport. It's just, it's becoming more about the money than just fighting somebody good. And I get it. People who are boxing, it's a dangerous sport. You can lose your life in the ring. Plenty of boxers have, your family. You got a lot of things to consider, but you want to be one of the best. I think as a boxer, you don't get in the ring just for the money. I think it's a lot of ego. You want to be considered one of the best. At least I would think so. But it doesn't seem to be looking that way anymore. At least in this generation of boxing that we're seeing. So let's hope that it turns around, man. It's every time I talk about it, I get depressed. I don't want to talk about it no more. But let's move on here. Let's get to some NFL news. Christian McCaffrey, a 49er now. Glad to see him move on. I guess He wasn't loved in Carolina. Uh, him and Debo, I think him and Debo, that's a great tandem there in San Francisco. Let's just Jimmy G. It's all on the shoulders of Jimmy G. How Jimmy G plays and carries the team forward. That's gonna have a lot to do with how far the Niners can go. Um, they're looking nice though. They got a really solid defense over there in the Bay Area for sure, man. So let's see how that turns out. I got him in my fantasy. I'm hoping McCaffrey tears it up. Next on the list, we got the Raiders. We always got to talk about my boys. Looking sharp. Josh McJacobs looking like one of the best backs in the league, whether you love it or you don't. He's looking good, man. This is what I've been saying before. We had to wait 7 weeks for Josh McDaniels to wake up and start learning. Run the ball. Don't put the ball in Derek Carr's hands. Let the best running back, get his shine on because he's in a contract year. They didn't want to give him that extension. He's playing for his money, his family. He's playing for a lot of pride. I know he wants to be a Raider. The way he's running the ball, man, he's delivering a lot of punishment, falling forward, picking up yards. I can't say never, but rarely any plays of negative yards, man. He's dominating, and it seems like he's the type of back where he only gets stronger as the game goes on. As the game goes on and they start to wear you down and they continue to hand the ball to Jacobs, credit to the O-line, man. You know what? I know those boys up front don't get a lot of shine. People probably don't even know half their names. Your average Joe is probably not going to know the offensive linemen's names. But you know what? Those guys are doing a great job up front protecting. Running game has been the best. In last 3 games, he's over 140 yards. The only Raider to ever do that. So, that's great, man. He's joining the lights of Marcus Allen. He's doing his thing, man, shining out there for the Raiders. Congratulations to Josh Jacobs. Got that dub, beat the Texans. You know what I mean? So that's how we living. Let me see here. Now we got, is Russell Wilson, this is a real question out there to you guys. Is Russell Wilson washed up? Because right now, the way he's playing for the Denver Broncos, he's looking like his time has passed, man. I don't know. It's definitely not the same guy we saw in Seattle. Seattle, he was sharp moving. He could throw, he could run. He's just but the Broncos have always had a good defense. I'll give them that. Good defenses. They just needed a quarterback. They went out and paid the man, thought they were getting their quarterback, their franchise quarterback, but the way he's been playing is definitely not what I thought I would see from him. It's still kind of early in the season, but he's from what I see, he's looking washed, and that's not to talk trash or anything like that, to try to hate on the Broncos, but he's looking trash, man. He's looking like the other Russell in LA on the Lakers, man, getting mad at fans because they tell him he sucks. You know what, man? Maybe you suck. If fans keep telling you suck, Laker fans provide the stadium for their fans to talk like that because they support LA Lakers more than anything they do in LA. More than they do the Dodgers, more than they do the Rams, more than they do the Chargers. They bleed purple and gold in LA, man. So if the fans are continuously telling you that you suck, you're not playing good, is it just you being stubborn? You don't want to answer questions about your playing time, about you coming off the bench. Russell Westbrook looking washed too. He's looking washed too. I think if they don't get it turned around within these next 20 games, I think he's gonna be traded. You heard that first here on the Shiesty show. I think if he continues to act the way he acts, he's gone, man. It's time for the Lakers to move on, get LeBron some shooters, because right now they have no shooters whatsoever. I another thing too, I feel like a lot of it never gets really touched on. I feel like after that championship, has, Anthony Davis has decided to chill. He decided to chill. I feel like he hasn't given the same effort. I feel like he's getting hurt more because he doesn't take care of his body. I feel like he was the most dominant big man until he got until he got that ring. When he was in New Orleans, man, I seen playoff games, 10 blocks, 11 blocks. This guy dominating, and I know that ring was special for them to get it for Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. But it just seems like he's lost a lot of fire in his game. Even the video surfacing of him saying, "Oh, I haven't touched the ball all summer." When would you ever hear someone like Kobe Bryant ever saying that? Just I don't know, man. He's to me lost a little bit of an edge. Let's just see if he can gain it back. Maybe they need to get Russell out of there. Let a true point guard run the team. Let LeBron hang out as he gets older. Let him hang it in the post a little bit more. Big body, get him in there. So it's being a Laker fan. It's disappointing, man, because Lakers used to championships and nothing less. But so we'll keep it moving though. On to the next one. Oh, this is I want to ask you guys this. This is a real question. So now, the WNBA does not have a lot of people that watch the game. And I've been hearing over the last couple weeks, other podcasts, not the news, other podcasts and other platforms saying that it would be more entertaining if the WNBA lowered the rim. Now, to me, lowering the rim to 9 feet. Lower the rim to 9 feet. Nah, that's too short. What would it have to be? 9.5. Lower. I think if you were to lower it just a little bit to make these dunks look more exaggerated, like they do in the NBA, hanging on the rim, kicking the legs out, Shaquille O'Neal, to just give it a little bit more excitement to the game, pulling the rim down. I think of the WNBA. Honestly, me in my personal opinion, I feel like if the WNBA really decided to lower the rim, and this is not just us trying to talk shit, I really think they would make a lot more money. The game would be a lot more entertaining. And that's not no shot at what those ladies do. I'm pretty sure a lot of them can ball up your average guy on the streets for sure. No hate. I just really think it'd be more LeBron James type dunks in the WNBA instead of your just normal off one leg, a normal little slam, because really that don't really take a lot of effort. I played ball with a guy in Long Beach one time, out there in Long Beach in the LBC. This guy was built like LeBron James. He was 6'9". I told him to dunk. He literally probably got 2 inches off the ground and dunked the ball that easy. So I feel if the WNBA is to lower it to 9.5 feet, it would definitely spark some interest in the game for sure, man. But let's get into these scores, these football scores here, man. We had a great week of football in the books. First game we had the Ravens beat the Browns. Ravens looking solid, man. You know what? I was telling one of my friends today that he's a Ravens fan. I never really remember the Ravens ever having a number one receiver. All the years I watched football, I've been watching football since 2003, 2002. I've never really known the Ravens to have a star receiver. Steve Smith was on the back end of his career. You can say Anquan Bolden. One time I think Derek Mason was one of the best receivers, man. So I don't ever really remember Ravens having the number one guy, but they're looking good. They always run the ball good. They got solid defense, and they picked up the win, 23-20. Next game, Dang, the Panthers are just, oh my goodness, 21-3. You know what, man? Is it father time? Has he snuck up on Tom Brady? It's 45 years old, the age where it's just time to call it quits. You know, he's not looking like the guy anymore, man. He's lost his touch so far. They lose 21-3. That's very shocking, man. Baker Mayfield led Carolina team. That's that's shocking to see the GOAT go down like that. Next game we had the Bengals and the Falcons. Bengals, 35-17 over the Falcons. Man, I got Joe Burrow in my fantasy. That boy is a dog. That guy threw 4 touchdowns. I think he ran for a touchdown. He's been killing it in fantasy for me, man. Great great choice to have him in my league and pick him up. Next game we had the Cowboys and the Lions. You know what? This game is 24-6. Cowboys get the win, but this game was a lot closer than what the score says. I think toward the end, Detroit's defense couldn't hold them anymore, and they began to give up scores. But also, the Cowboys' defense had a couple scores, I believe, in this game on defense. That really shore up the game. But Detroit was in this game for a while, man. They had this game, but they let it slip away, 24-6. Next game, we got the Giants beating the Jaguars. The Giants looking solid, man. I think that's a team that was very underrated coming in. I don't think a lot of people, they flew under the radar for sure. I don't think a lot of people had them doing this good. Beating the Jaguars, the Jaguars started off hot this season, but it hasn't been good for them the last couple of weeks. They got good defense, but we'll see if they can pull it together. They lose that one. Packers, Commanders. Commanders pull it out. Commanders got a great defense as well. That's another top defensive team right there. Commanders looking solid. They hold Aaron Rodgers to 21 points. I know that's a tough task at hand, but Commanders get that one right there. We got the Colts and the Titans. Titans pull out the victory, 19-10. They're always gonna run the ball, play solid defense. I think for the Colts, a player in fantasy, I thought a lot of people would definitely probably use their number one pick on him, but hasn't really played up to par this year. Is Jonathan Taylor? He's not producing like he was last year. That's for sure. Next game, we got my boys. Raiders pull it out, 38-20. Hand the ball to Jacobs. Don't let Josh McDaniels don't start getting trigger happy with Derek Carr. Just run the ball, play defense, run the ball. Jacobs being the number one back right now in the league to me, in my eyes. Next game, we got the Gents and the Broncos. Jets pull it out 16-9. Here we go. These are the questions again. Is Russell Wilson washed up? He's looking like it right now. I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know what it is, man. But he's not looking like the top guy he was in Seattle, winning a Super Bowl, I shall say. But it's just not it for him. Chiefs come and dominate the Niners, 44-23. They still looking. I hate to say it, me being an AFC West guy, I hate the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. But Chiefs looking like that team again, man. Chiefs and like I said, I'll say this again. Hate them both, but the Chiefs and the Bills looking like the two top teams that are gonna come out the AFC. Bengals right there too. Bengals are right there too, but definitely those are the two top teams to me in my eyes right now. Seahawks pull out one. Hey man, let me just give another shout out to Geno Smith. This guy being in the league 10 years plus. I'm pretty sure he was written off. Like he said, he was written off. Wait, hold on. What did he say again? The critics had him written off, but he didn't answer back, or he didn't text back. Something like that. I butchered that. But you know what I mean, man. Geno Smith coming back around, and you know what? It's an amazing story to see that, man. Never give up on your dreams. He leading them right now. Some people may probably think. I don't think a lot of people had the Seahawks doing good this year, but they looking sharp, man. They beat the Chargers. That's a very tough team. Justin Herbert, pull out the victory in that one. Steelers, Dolphins. Dolphins again. We got Tua back in the game. I was very eager to see how Tua would respond. See how he came back from that wicked concussion. Just to see how he would react to getting hit, man. He went right for it. Say he had to do it to get his confidence back up. After being shaken up the way it was. That was a scary sign. Out of all the years of watching football, never saw someone tense up like that. pretty scary moment for him. But happy he's doing good, back in the game. Hey, man, if you love the sport, nobody could tell you anything. Next game, final game, we had the Bears beat the Patriots. Bears are always going to play solid defense. Justin Fields doing his thing. With the Patriots, Belichick getting them there. Slowly but surely they getting there, man. They building something over there for sure. I don't like the Patriots whatsoever, but I think when Tom Brady left, he took a lot of the shine with him. But I think, people are starting to realize Belichick definitely had a hand in that dynasty. Had to, man. Definitely had his hand on that dynasty with them two guys. But he's getting them better, man. He's getting them better. They're always gonna play solid defense, from the Patriots. But they lose this one 33-14. And another great week of football, another great week of sports. We talk about everything and anything here on the Shiesty Show. That's another episode in the books. Happy y'all to join me. Episode 4. We out.
Yo.